my crafty friends. Oh my gosh, I'm feeling so mischievous today. And I went back and forth on whether or not I was going to do this. So, okay, my husband is not a fan of glitter. Kirk is so anti-glitter, it's just not funny. So I decided that I'm making him an apron for Valentine's Day. So anyway, back to what I was talking about. So Kirk hates glitter, right? And so, oh my gosh, I shouldn't do this. But I'm making him an apron for Valentine's Day because for his birthday last year, he bought himself a new grill. And great, buy a new grill. That's fine. I can tell it's getting dark outside because it's really, my lighting's not the best right now and I'm freaking out a little bit, but we'll not freak out. So anyway, long story short, he bought himself a new grill, a Grill Master. And so he kept coming in and he was just full of grease and whatever. And he's like, do you have any aprons? Of course I have aprons. So I came downstairs and I went into my, what I call my ink closet, because I have a bunch of t-shirts and aprons and things that were hanging there. So anyway, got a tickle, hang on. Okay, hopefully I can get through that. So the stencil we're using is the Craft Club stencil, right? The secret ingredient is love. Well, there's two things. He needs to wear an apron when he uses his Grill Master. I thought this was perfect, but because he just is my little anti-glitter man, shh, don't tell him I actually have glitter in my craft studio. He's just not aware of it. And every once in a while he'll find little sprinkles around the house and he'll say, where did this come from? And I don't know where it came from. It came from me. So anyway, before we get started, again, this is the stencil we're going to use. This comes from the January Craft Club, which is awesome. And I'm getting more and more excited about this as I go to sleep at night, and that's when I'm the most creative. And so all night long, I'm thinking about what I could do with stencils. Probably not the real healthy thing, but anyway, we're going to use an ink mat to hold our fabric down. And I just wanted to show you, I have several of these because, you know, it's me. I have all kinds of craft supplies. But anyway, I wanted to show you this ink mat because if I put my hand down, I can't lift it up, right? Now let's show you what your ink mat should be. So take off my cover. See, this one is so not sticky that even the cover doesn't stay on. It's that good. So anyway, the one that I have here was exactly like this one where it wouldn't hold the cover. But I wanted to show you my little magic trick. Look at that. It had no sticky on it. Oh my gosh, Lynn, how did you do that? Pretty simple. If you do not have just regular Dawn dish soap in your house and you craft, you want to get yourself even the smallest bottle because it doesn't take very much. So what I did to go from this to this was I ran some cold water, just like I clean the stencils, cold water. So I did that, and then I decided that I'm going to try something new. And this was months back. But I added just a little bit of Dawn dish soap, and then I used my little tool. This is called a stencil cleaner. Well, guess what? It's not just for cleaning stencils. Multi-purpose. So I'm just going to take that out of the package. And you know, when I order these, I order 5, 10, 15 of them because I love them. I use them everywhere. But anyway, so I put this down in my cold water, had the Dawn in there as well, and then I just scrub back and forth. And there's two sides to your stencil cleaner. This, it's like a little bumpy one, and then this one isn't. I used the bumpy side. And so I just went back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And then you could see little particles when it was wet, and I'm like, yeah, not clean enough, not clean enough. And so I went back, and then I just scrubbed it again. Set this aside to dry, and voila, there you go. My ink is back. I'm going to take my stencil sponge and put that in my water. Today I'm using ink, and so I'm going to be a little more careful with my stencil. And yes, there's a t-shirt under here because I have more than one project for you today. You know what? My lights are driving me crazy. I am going to adjust them just a little bit. If you'll excuse me, I'll get this done in a jiffy. Tripping over things. Okay, I don't know if that helps much, but I'm hoping so. I think I'm going to have to change my live at 5 at this time of year back to about 3 o'clock. I just don't, I have a hard time connecting with my my lighting. So I'm just going to put this underneath, and I'm rubbing it across there. So now, oops. I feel a little bump. I must have something on here. I do. I don't know what. Okay, let's see. Oh my gosh, all I did was move it over. I don't even know what that is. But anyway, just like on any surface, if I have a bump underneath my stencil, then of course it's just gonna be far more difficult. And so, yes, I don't know if you can hear them, but that's my babies, Tilly and Elsie. And so either Daddy got home from work early today, or somebody's walking their dog. I'm going to take it that somebody's walking their dog, because it's rare that my husband comes home early on a Friday. So I'm just going to take my 3 fingers, and I'm going to place 3 fingers down. And what I did with my stencil is I actually just bent it a little bit right down the middle. That helps me with my center. And then I didn't iron this beforehand, but there's a little line going right up the center that I can actually, where was my 3 fingers? Actually, you know what? It's Kirk, so I'm going to go down a little bit further. So I've got that centered. The other way I check is with my fingers, because if I can put my fingers on each side, and I've got 4 on each side, and then of course my thumb, I know that I've got it. I'm not feeling like this is straight, but I think it is. Okay. Notice I didn't fuzz my stencil, but I had something a little fuzzy on it. And yeah, that wasn't good. So I'm going to use my glittering black ink. Now we do have coal black. I'm going to do glittering on this because Captain Kirk, my husband, hates glitter. I know, I'm just mischievous. I know, I'm kind of a boring mischievous, but so what? I'm being mischievous. There's also a little backstory to this. Come on. Oh my goodness, why did it not want to come off? I think my room is really humid, so that's what it looks like. But the backstory behind this as well is that Kirk and I have our own little secret ingredient that we use when we're what do we do? Grill. And so the secret ingredient is always love is going to be perfect for him because it's our own personal secret ingredient and we don't even tell the kids. The kids, the family, nobody knows. Nobody knows. It's just a Lynn and Kirk thing. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my squeegee and dip it in my ink. Ink is not the same as chalk. I'm going to go very lightly over this and I'm going to attempt to go over it one time to avoid having it bleed underneath. So I'm just going to come over here and I'm going to try to get this all the way down. Oops. See, this is what I didn't want to do. But I started, I don't know if you saw that, but I started off the mesh part. If you have to go over a second time, you are not pressing this down like you do. My stencil's moving. I'm not liking that. In fact, I can hear, oh, I have the feeling this is going to be. We may have a big mistake on here because for some reason, I feel like parts of my stencil are bubbling up. Could be my imagination, but it could also be that it's really happening. And it might just be this fabric. I know that this is not an all cotton fabric, and that could very well be my issue. Now it doesn't seem like it's doing it. It was just that one spot. So we'll see. I may have to use this as a craft apron. You don't know how many towels craft aprons I have from my mistakes. But, oh well, mistakes happen, right? And I'm just going to go over this lightly. I'm just getting my excess off. And then I'm going to put my cheaters on because I want to make sure. Oh, this is, oh, there's a little spot there that I can see. And there's a little spot here. I'm feeling like, I don't know, that's making me really nervous. It just doesn't. Okay, I've got something, I believe, on the back of my stencil on my Y. Go ahead and set that aside. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to, oops, I see another spot. You know what I'm going to do? These are paintbrush squeegees, and it's such a little area. I'm just going to put a little bit on there. And where was the other spot I thought I saw? Okay, we're going to see if we have an apron that's going to work for us, or if we're going to have, oh, okay, I'm going to wipe off my hands with my antiseptic wipes because, oh, I have paint on me from earlier today. Of course, when the paint. I feel like my video is like super dark and that you're just not seeing me. But I'm going to take this up from the corner very carefully and pull this. Yeah, it did it. It did. Okay, so remember when I said, hang on. I'm going to take time and I'm going to wash the stencil first because I want to make sure that the ink does not clog my silk screen. So I'm going to wash that really quick and then I'm going to show you the boo-boo. And you know, I really thought that I had this down, but I didn't, and it bubbled. But you know what? Those things happen no matter how experienced you are, and we're just going to go with it. So what happened when I told you that I felt that my stencil moved, that it like bubbled a little bit? It actually did. And I don't know how much you can see this. We're going to learn by Lynn's mistake here. So I don't know if you can tell or not, but over here by my Y, it pushed out there, as well as down into this little curly Q, and this curly Q on top of it. So I can really feel like there's, I'm just going to set this aside, but I really feel that it moved. So, and again, this is a cotton polyester mix, and I really think that had something to do with that. I feel like I'm this dark, shady creature back here. I'm hoping not. But now I'm going to do a t-shirt for William, my grandson, and it says Love Bug. I love making him shirts. Well, it used to be onesies, but now he's getting to be a big boy, almost too. So this is 100% cotton. And again, I'm going to show you that I went right over it. So how do I know that I have this done? So it's down. I can tell it's down. How did I get it centered? You know, crafters have all kinds of tools. You know what? This is just absolutely bugging me. I am going to pull up a different light and see if that doesn't make it better. Because I feel like I'm seriously in the dark here. I hope that's better. So anyway, so here's my Love Bug. Whoops, got some fibers from that other. And again, I didn't fuzz this because it is on fabric. And then what I did, when I do onesies and things for little ones, these ink mats are so big, and for me, maybe not for other places, but it seems more difficult to get things this in there placed and centered and all those things. So I actually cut mine. I cut this is a 5x7 stencil. I cut it into like a 6x8, so I had some room around it. This needs to go over there. Let's see. Oh, I did not cover my ink, and you want to make sure you do that, just like chalk paste. And then I was going to do white, you know, Valentine's, red and white. And I was looking at this today, and I'm like, oh my gosh, Ladybug. We're going to do it with black. So what I did was I used my nifty little tools here. And these are a way to measure. This is an infant. Oh, where's my toddler? Okay, infant, toddler, youth, and adult. But I knew it was William, and he was little, and so what I did was I put mine up a little bit higher, and if you look, it's kind of 3 fingers from the top of the bottom neckline. I know that doesn't make sense. Bottom isn't here. I'm talking about the bottom of this neckline. So anyway, I've got this on here perfectly well. Now this one, we're going to cross our fingers. This one should not be a problem. So I'm going to open up my ink, and really the ink looks like ink. And you don't add water to this ever, 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 ever. If it dries up, which I think I've had this, I don't know how long I've had it, at least a year, if not 2. But I'm going to put this on the outer edge, and then I'm going to pull down gently. Do that again. Oh, I came so close. You know what? If you're really nervous about going off the fabric, you can put masking tape around this. I use painter's tape when I do that. Depends upon the day. Today I wasn't feeling like nervous about ink until I started doing William's shirt. So I'm just gonna, I have places that it just didn't cover too much. I have all my excess off from when I pulled. Again, I'm gonna put my cheaters on, and it's really interesting because I can find just these teeny tiny little spots. I'm just going to go over this very lightly to make sure that I'm good. And I'm going to tell you the most mistakes I make is with ink. Okay, so I'm going to put that back in there, set that aside. I'm checking my fingers because I don't want to bump this. I'm looking at a spot that just a couple little spots. I feel like it's not taking. I set that right in my. Okay, so this paintbrush squeegee is just a paint tip. And what I'm going to do is, because I mean, these are teeny tiny little spots, and it's just not worth going over it with a squeegee and chancing it. So I can just see just little teeny. Oh, sure, Lynn. Now where are they? Where was it? Oh, here's it. It's a little bit on this L. And see how I'm painting it. I have to paint that one a little bit. Okay, I'm not going to keep doing that because I don't want to leave this on too long and have it dry. I've got a little smudge on my finger, of course. Oh gosh, I have it on my hand. That would be me to set it right down on my t-shirt and ruin that. I don't want to do that. So, okay, from the corner again, I'm going to gently take that off. And see, you can see this one was down flat. It really caught that cotton fabric. I've inked on these other before, but for some reason today, in that one area, I just didn't get that quite right. And so I'm going to have to redo the other one. But I just gained myself a craft apron. So again, we used coal black, my mischievous glittering black, and then we measured to get where our shirts needed to go. We used this. Magnolia does carry these. I can get you a link if you want. You know what? I just realized I didn't take the plastic coating off. Oh well, that's been a couple years. Never noticed. We used our ink mats. I talked about cleaning the ink mat with Dawn, as well as cold water and a stencil sponge. Stencil sponge isn't my favorite tool, no. But if there's any tool that I have multiples of, other than several, it's definitely my stencil sponges. And I'm, again, cleaning this here on the table, which I normally don't do, but I am because I am using ink and I don't want to clog that stencil. And so I'm just going to put that aside. So I hope you invited a friend today. Oh, I'm going to hang on. I can see the back of my stencil has a little bit more black. Normally I don't go over the back, but I'm going to for this. And then if I've wiped off too much of the sticky stuff, I'll clean. I'm making this worse. I'll clean it with a antiseptic wipe. So remember, your wipes, these are not baby wipes. Don't use baby wipes. Baby wipes and other kinds of wipes, other than the disinfectant, they have lanolin and other oils in them that would actually ruin your stencils. So with that, I still feel like I'm in the dark. It's just absolutely dark. I hope you could see this. Happy crafting. And tomorrow, live at 3 Central Time. It's just too dark outside and my lighting is just, I like that light from my back window. So until the next time when we are, what's going to happen next time? Oh, I have a feeling, I hope you're not getting bored with this, but I hope you're not bored, but we're going to use that January Craft Club again. There's just, every time I turn around, I'm thinking of another way to use it. And I tell you, the creators with Magnolia, we're friends. Are we all besties? No. But what's really, really nice is that we share. We share all of our ideas with one another. We share tips and tricks with one another. And I happen to see another way that somebody used the stencil. And so tomorrow we're going to do something I've never done before, and I'm so excited. And it is with the Craft Club. So until then, we'll see you. Happy talking.